everybody, my name is Heather. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a good day. So I am super excited to share this journal with you today. This is going to be a journal flip through. And I've been working on this journal for a while, like a good while. And I am so slow. Like, it takes me so long to make a journal, and I try so hard to get faster at it, but it just doesn't happen. So I really put a lot of love and time into this journal, so it might be a little bit of a long chatty video, but I just want to take my time with it and just go through it because I really love how it turned out. And so the journal is for a swap that I'm in with my friend Maria. Her YouTube channel is Jadore Le Papier, and I have spoken about her many times on my channel before, so you may have, or you may be familiar with her, or you may have heard me talk about her. But she makes beautiful journals, and I just really admire her work. So she created a beautiful journal for me, and I will link that video below if you want to check it out. And then this is the journal that I created for her. So I knew that she loves to make fashion journals. So I kind of wanted to go with that theme because I haven't really done that before. I haven't really done the fashion sort of theme before, but I wouldn't say it's super themey. It's more of a personal journal for her. There's a lot of fashion references in here, but there's some other things too. So yeah, so I made several things. I made the journal. This is a little folder. This is a tag book. This is a folder. And so I will just maybe talk about the journal, the outside first, and then I'll show you the other little stuff that I made. So the outside of the journal is created from a antique French document. It was a cahier, I think I'm saying that right. It was like a cahier notebook, I think, of some kind. So basically for me, that translates to like some type of workbook, but it is so gorgeous. It's all embossed, and it has this gorgeous like embossing here. It's just stunning. So I really wanted to use it as the cover, but it was super fragile. So what I did was I glued it really good, and I attached it to like some heavy duty sort of book board, and I think it's going to be okay for the cover. I know that Maria is going to appreciate like the antique paper, the fact that it's not perfect, like all the imperfections on it. I know that she's going to be okay with that. So that's why I went with it. And I put this gorgeous velvet ribbon as the closure and an Art Deco buckle here. And I made a little portrait. This is a little lady. She's French, and her name is Marie. And she was the original woman that the movie Moulin Rouge is written about. She is the Lady of the Camellias, and the journal has nothing to do with her. I just really liked her portrait, and so I did it a little bit of that gold, what is that stuff? That gold, like, it's like a paper, and then you put it around. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it'll come to me. But anyways, I added a little gold around the edge and made just like a little portrait just to tuck in there. And she's like a little French lady. And what else? I put this little Maria stamp here, and I got this from an antique embroidery magazine, and I just cut out the Maria. So basically it was like showing all the different monograms that you could make, and there were different names on the paper, and there just so happened to be a Maria. So I cut out the Maria, and I even did a little bit of hand stitching along there, which I never do. So, so Maria, that is really special coming from me because I don't usually hand stitch anything. And let's see, what else can I tell you? I put some little charms coming out. There's like a antique religious charm. It's French. And then I put her birthstone, which is amethyst. And then I put "Be You Bravely," which is just a sweet little quote, which I think we can all use that quote, you know, in our own lives, every one of us. So let's see, what else can I tell you? The spine, whoops, here's my little portrait. The spine is created from a really super old document from the 1800s. Like, I have it over here. I'm going to show you. It is so old, like 1815, I think is what it's from. And it's made out of some type of like cotton paper that is super thick. So I put that along the spine with some sari trims. I love the polka dot and the purples. Just, I don't know. I just really, really loved that. And then this is the back of the journal, and it says Kaye on there. I hope I'm saying that word right. And it's all embossed, like the front, and like all these little imperfections. Like, I know that she's gonna be okay with that. So yeah, so that is the journal cover. I really, really love how that turned out. So what else can I say about that? So I'll just set this aside. Oh, I didn't show you the side. So the side, it's like lots of different like things poking out, all those little bits, which is probably one of my favorite things about a junk journal. So yeah, so we will set this aside, and then I'll just show you the other little bits that go with it, and then we'll come back to it. So I created this folder to go with it. And so I know that Maria's favorite color is red. And so originally I was thinking about using this really old French book as her journal, but it's really kind of bigger than what I like to work in. I know that Maria creates bigger journals, but I usually don't create like big journals. I like them a little bit small. So I was originally going to use this as her journal, but I changed my mind and I made a folder with it. So I added some antique French fabric, which is the same fabric that I used on this folder. And actually this was the fabric that kind of like gave me the color palette that I wanted to use, like how the red and like the purple is all in there. Oh my gosh. It's just a beautiful antique fabric, truly gorgeous. And so the book is French and it's red, so I know she'll like that. And then on the inside, I just created a little folder for her. So over here is a beautiful lady. This is an antique, well, I guess it's antique because it's from the 1920s, but it was a 1920s French magazine, and I just cut it out to fit this little lady in here. And she has her little dog. There's actually another dog over here, but he got cut off because he couldn't fit in there. And she has her beautiful flowers and her beautiful little French chateau back here. So just reminded me, because Maria loves France, and if she could live there, she would. So Maria, this is you, and this is your little chateau and your little dog and your pretty little roses. So this is like your little inspiration board for moving to France. And then on here, so I made this a little clipboard for her so she could maybe use it for sketching, because I know she likes to sketch. And I put this sketch in here of a sketch that I drew, and I thought that I would pass it along to her. I was taking a class from Renee Mueller, and she has a lesson where you make this beautiful lady, and I shared this on my Instagram, so if you follow me there you might have seen it. But it's called I think she's called like the Lady of the Magnolias or something like that. And so these are magnolia flowers, and so I sketched it with pencil and watercolor. I didn't have any charcoal pencils at the time, which I've since got. And so this one, I sketched her again after this, and I used charcoal, and I really like using the charcoal, but this one just turned out really pretty on the ledger, so I want to pass it to Maria. And I love like how these little magnolias turned out with the just no color, just all the black, just the shades of black, which is amazing. And I really am not a very good drawer, so I just sort of copied what the teacher was like explaining, and but I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm gonna keep going with it. I really like the concept of making these little fashion ladies. So just a little backstory, and like I said, you might need a cup of coffee for this video because it might be a little long because I'm gonna be a little chatty. But I learned that whenever you make a fashion figure and you're drawing it, like if you go to fashion school, that these little stick figures that you see of the fashions, they are usually 10 heads long. So you take like you make your head, and then the body should be 10 heads. So but like an actual woman is usually only around 8 heads. So those fashion drawings are not always very accurate as far as like typical woman, you know, which is it's just so typical of any fashion, right? So yeah, so 10 heads. So I actually did do 10 heads to create the body of this, 10 of these little heads down to create the body. So yeah, just a little fun fact. Okay, and then over here I created a folder, or I mean a pocket for her so she could use, you know, to put little things in or whatever. And then up here she can use this as a clipboard if she wants to kind of make her drawings. And then I put some antique French fabric, which I really, really love this fabric too. And then this is also a vintage French fabric that I got from my friend Kim at Artistic Bliss Designs. I think that's the name of her shop. I'm going to link her shop too. So everybody that I use their stuff, I will be sure to link their shops. So yeah, so that is the little folder, and I love how it's out of the book. So if you have any old books, again, this is a really cool way of using one that if you don't necessarily want to turn it into a journal. And then up here, I attached this little altered tag from Tim Holtz. So I just figured it was appropriate for art or fashion because you're altering, you know, fabric or paper or whatever. So I put that little altered tag there. So then the next thing I created for her was, I made her these little like fabric swatches, and I found an old fabric swatch card, and I took the image and I took out all of the, like I created this center part digitally to make it so that it's blank so that she could put her little fabric swatches on when she makes her fashion journal. So I'm going to send her like the digital of this. So yeah, so that's a little fabric swatch card. And then I created this folder out of that antique French fabric, and so you can just tuck whatever inside. And I put some, this is some old ledger from 1885, which I thought looked really pretty there. And then on the back is these gorgeous ladies and their beautiful gowns. Like, they're just stunning. Like, I love this little lady here with her necklace and the flowers, and it's just so pretty. So yeah, so that's the folder that goes with the journal. And then I also created this little tag book, and this was inspired by Sam Poole, and she did a tag book tutorial for the Graphics Fairy premium site. And I was trying to follow along with hers, but mine turned out a little bit different than hers, but the concept is similar. So yeah, so this opens up like this, and what this is it's the front of a piano roll, like the vintage piano roll paper, and every piano roll has this front part that has this little tab here. So I just wanted to use that because I thought it was kind of cool. So I used that as my front. And then this part right here is a stamp that is from Sam Poole's. She created this stamp set of like numbers, and I'm gonna link that too because it's gorgeous. And I got it on scrapbook.com, but this is one of the numbers that you can stamp with. And then this opens up and there's this pretty little lady here. And then this is another stamp from Sam's collection. It's of a mannequin, and so I stamped that there. And you can get that on scrapbook.com too. I'll make sure I link that. And then I created this little tag of these corsets, which is so cool. And I did a little bit of texture up here. And then I put some vintage wallpaper on the back of this, like Maria could journal on the back of that. And then this was the leftover piece from that French document cover. So I used that as the back. And then this is another little stamp that came in one of Sam's stamp collections. And then you turn it over, and this is like the back of that piano roll paper. This is another one of those little stamps from Sam's collection. And then there's a pocket here that you could put something in. So I love this little tag book. I think it turned out super cute. So I made that, and let's tie it back up here and put it out of the way. Okay, so we got that and that. So we'll go back to the journal now. Okay, so for the journal, when I made the closure from this Art Deco clip, and it just opens like that, comes right off. It's so pretty. And then the velvet just wrapped around like that. And then I just tucked that little portrait right inside. So when you open the journal, this is the first page. And this little lady here is the same lady as this. Her name is Marie, like I said. And she is so pretty in her pink dress. I love the detail on the dress. So like I said, there's a lot of really pretty ladies in this journal, and mostly I was just going for like things that I loved. Like I loved her dress. This dress just is gorgeous. And like her jewelry here, you can see, and this pretty flowers. And so I put her there. And then this fabric is the same as is on the folder. And I used that to cover like the spine. And then this is some antique wallpaper that I got from Antique Textile Shop on Instagram. I will link her shop too. It's beautiful antique French wallpaper. And then there's a pocket here. And I used some little bits from an antique fashion or vintage fashion magazine from France, and I put those here. So yeah, and then I put that little polka dot sari on the picture, which I really like because I love polka dots. So it's a little bit of polka dots in there. And then you turn the page and there's just some script here. This is a picture of Paris, and I know that Maria loves France, so that picture is very appropriate for her, I think. And then on this page, I have this really pretty picture of this lady. I love her hat, and I think she's a bride. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, but I love, like, look at her shoes. I love the shoes. So pretty. And this is a vintage calling card, and the hand symbol with the flowers is always a symbol of friendship. So I put that in there specifically because this was Maria's journal. So yeah, and then I put a little bit of gold mesh there. And on this page, I took another image from a vintage French magazine, fashion magazine. And then this is just a little tuck spot, so she can put something there. And then this is some vintage ledger that I got from Crafty Paper Bits. And there might be some more papers from her too, so I will also link her shop. And then I created these little garment tags out of, you may have seen these on my Instagram. These are also from Sam Pool's stamp set from scrapbook.com that I got. And I love the Paris and all the numbers. Like, I could just use those in every single journal. Put a little bit of lace there. And then this is the center of the first signature. And there's little pockets here, like here. And then this is that same mannequin stamp, only I stamped in blue. And I put the blue ribbon there. I thought that turned out really pretty. And then this page, I put a pocket. This is called Italian Reticella lace. And it's one of my prized collections. I've had this for a lot of years, and I have a few of them, and they were like napkins. So then every corner had this handmade lace. It is so stunning, just stunning. So I made a little pocket out of this and put it in here. But I got this from an auction like many years ago, and I got like a whole bunch of this lady's lace that had passed away, like all of her linens. And you know, back in the old days, like the women of your family like made all of your linens for you, like your napkins and your tablecloths and everything, and they gave it to you, you know, for your wedding. And so it was just so special to get like all of these beautiful linens from this auction. And the lady was Italian that I got it from. And so that must be why this particular lace is an Italian lace. So yeah, so inside I tucked a vintage French book page, and I put some texture on there for Maria to use in her art or in the journal. And then this little lady here, which I love her. She's so cute. So that's a pocket. And then this page is a piece of vintage, it was a piece from a quilt, and I got this from Moonside Parlor. And I took the batting off and just kept that little piece of the quilt there. And then a little piece of fabric, so some little fabric swatches. And then this little lady, I use her a lot. She is so pretty with her hat and the little green silk there. And then this is the first part of the charm. So I made a bookmark, and it just wraps up. And then this is the French religious medal. And then just some pattern paper. And then I put some embossed paper there. And then this is, like you can see through every signature, like that fabric, which is so pretty. And then this is an antique envelope that I got from Catherine at French Bijou. And I just thought it was so beautiful, like that script on there. Oh, and it's a tag. I put a tag inside, and it has some beautiful antique French wallpaper. This is a tag that I got from Melissa at Moonside Parlor. And then I put a wax seal here, some French book pages. And then this lady I put in here. I love her. I think she is so pretty. I love this shawl that is coming over her shoulder, and her red rose and her red lipstick. Just love her. I think she's from the 1920s. She is, yeah. She's from the 1920s. And then on this page we have, this is what is the name of this? The Heritage Collection from Maggie Holmes. And I love this image of the hollyhocks. And I put this in here because I know Maria loves to garden. So this is an image of some type of French Paris gardens. So I put that with it. And then I forgot to say in the beginning of the journal that what I did a couple times in the journal is I have some old French postcards, but I didn't really like the image that was on the front. So I just took and covered the postcard front with an image that I really liked. And that was how I used the postcard. But the back of the postcard is still there, and it's so cool. So yeah, I think I used it on, let's see, where is that? This lady. I did the same thing. I I put this picture on top of the postcard. So yeah, I love the back of that one too. So pretty. Okay, so where was I? So here I was. Okay, so then we have the gardens, and then I put this really pretty piece of purple sari trim here, but there could be journaling done there. And also I know that Maria likes to use a fountain pen for her journaling, so I did try to include ledger paper, and all of the papers that I printed on were like either 100% cotton business papers, or they were the linen papers that have like 25% cotton. So I'm not sure if you can use your fountain pen on those papers, Maria, but maybe you can. I hope so. And then here's another one of those little fabric swatch cards. So I put some of those French fabrics on there. And this is the center page. I shared this on my Instagram, and I got this original image from Charisse of Pink Vintage Creations. I think that, I can't remember her Instagram name. I have to write it. I will write her on my description too. But anyways, I purchased the original from her, and I copied it and made it for the center of this book. And I love these ladies. Love their dresses, and just, I don't know, so pretty. And then this is a vintage bag that I got from Catherine of French Bijoux, and it's from France. And what it is I wasn't exactly sure what it was, and I asked Catherine what it was, and she said that it was a bag that had once held candy of some kind, and this was the store label from France. And so she sent me a picture of the actual store that this bag came from. So Maria, when you go to France, you need to get some good chocolates. So, and this is so cool that we have this picture now that this came from. So I don't know, that's just really neat. And I just attached a little bit of millinery flowers from a hat that I have up here. So that's that. And then this is just some ledger paper that flips out. And this page is a little fabric flip. This is one of my favorite fabrics, and I just got it at a thrift store. It was a dress or a skirt. I can't remember what it is, but I love this sheer pattern. So I put some in there for her. And then this little lady with her fan. She's definitely Art Deco. And then this is a beautiful print of an old French wallpaper. It's gorgeous. And then this page, I got this from Catherine at French Bijoux. It's an antique, what is that called? Like scrap of that little red rose. And then this is a piece of, this is so cute. It's Millie's ready to wear millinery and hosiery. So cute. And it says frocks. So that's a little receipt. So I tucked that there. And this is some French book pages and some dotted Swiss that I used sort of like as the page. And then this is the other part of that charm right here, which it kind of goes up and around the bookmark. Some vintage sheet music. And then this is a belly band here of that same French wallpaper design. So pretty. And then this is a piece of that same wallpaper that's on the front of the book. It's just gorgeous. Like, so pretty. And then this is a little scrap of fabric, or not fabric, of French paper from 1842. So pretty with that writing. And I made this little portrait the same as I did on the one on the front, only I put a little doily behind it. So I like how those little portraits turned out. I still can't remember the name of that gold stuff I used, but I know you guys will know what it is. It's like those little sheets of gold, and you put them on with glue, and then you have to kind of like take them off. I forget what it's called. Okay, so then this is some French ledger. This is from Crafty Paper Bits. And then I included this gorgeous old French document for her. It is the prettiest script writing, and it's on this cotton rag paper. It's so beautiful. I don't really know anything about what it says, but it's really pretty. And it's such small writing. I can't imagine writing that small. So I just tucked that in there. Some pretty roses. And then this is a beautiful printable that I put in here. This is going to be coming to my shop. I love this pattern. And then on this one, I put, it's like this opens up so that the ledger, you know, opens up. But I just, along the side, I put some green, this gorgeous green velvet with this antique button, which is a really cool button. I love this button here. And it says satin, velours, and taffetas. That came from one of the French magazines that I have. And I thought that was really cool. And I put some little texture there. And then this is a pocket. So pretty with the texture. I love this. I know Maria likes this, so I tried to include some of those textures. And then this is a paper flower. And then this is something I got from Penny and Rose, Gabriella, and it's a antique telegram, a French one, and it has the number 711, Maria. Can you believe that? So I included it in here. So 711 is her lucky number, and it's also my birthday. So we just kind of like discovered that one day when we were chatting. And so when I saw this, I was going through all my stuff like to kind of figure out what to put in here. And I saw this 711 and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to put that in there. And then this is just a little scrap of vintage French wallpaper. Beautiful. And then this is another vintage French ephemera piece. But like, look how tiny the writing is. It's so, so tiny. I don't even know how someone would write that tiny. But anyways, it's super cool. So Maria, I just wanted to tell you too, like you can certainly take any of this stuff out of this journal and use it in your art if you don't necessarily, you know, you might not need all of this stuff in your journal to create and to make your journal, but you can certainly take any of these things and use them in your art. So that was what I was hoping that you would do. So, and then this is a beautiful lady from one of those French magazines. And then I took flowers from a hat that I have and I just tied that on there. And then this can be a little tuck spot to put something there. And then this is the cutest little pattern. It's a child street costume pattern. And I just printed it onto tracing paper and I just aged it and crinkled it up a little bit. But I love this little girl. So cute. So that tucks in there. And then this, just some music and then some vintage French ledger. And then this page I put, this is an advertisement from a vintage French book for scissors, which is super cool because I know that Maria likes all the sewing sort of ephemera. And I have a stamp of this sewing machine and I put a little piece of vintage lace there. And then this is a pocket. And then this page is a tag that I made. I just, you know, used some vintage wallpapers and a little bit of French book pages and created that tag. This is a vintage French magazine page. And then this is another center page of a pattern that I'm going to be taking to my shop soon, a printable for my shop soon. And I love that. It's a French design. And this is an embroidery design. And then this little lady, I love her. I loved her dress and her beautiful millinery flowers on her dress. That was why I really wanted to include this picture. And I put it on the back of some of Heather's handmade paper from Rose Hill Paper Cottage. And I love this lady. And so what I found was some images of some antique, like, so this must be from like the 1800s, like from back when, let me see, where are those ladies? Let's see here. I can't find them. The ladies that have the big fluffy dresses. Yeah, these ladies. So I'm thinking that these go around this same time period. And what they are is like, this is a comb that they would put in their hair with all these roses. I mean, that is just amazing. And then I realized that I put these two upside down, and it was too late to fix it because I put the eyelet in. So Maria, you'll have to like flip it around. But this is a bracelet with these beautiful roses. So amazing. And then this is a millinery like corsage. So I thought it went really good with this lady with her corsage on. Or her corsage, yeah. So yeah, I put those there. And then this is some vintage embroidery pattern paper that I just tucked in there. And I really liked this flower. It sort of reminded me that it was like a little bit Art Deco. So yeah, so that's that page. And this is the other side of that French book page. And then this is just opens up for journaling. And this is more of that beautiful French wallpaper. And then this is a little vintage clothing label, more French ledger. And then that's the last page. And then back here is a vintage chocolate advertisement. And it's from France, and I got it from one of my magazines that I have. It's so pretty. And I put this little H from some monogrammed like laundry tape that I got from Catherine of French Bidou. So I just put the little H there for Heather because I made the journal. And that's the end. So yeah, so that's the back, or I mean, that's the whole journal. And I have one more thing to share because I couldn't fit it in to the journal whenever I was creating it. But it was actually supposed to tuck in to, like, so there's these big spaces in between the signatures. So I was just going to tuck it in there, but it kind of got too puffy, too chunky. So I just am going to put it in separately, but it's just a little booklet that I made, and I used my French invoice set that I have in my shop to create this. It's just a little booklet, and I liked that it said fabric here, and it's such a pretty blue. And I tucked this little lady in here with her pretty little pleated dress and her hat. Love the hat. I think I used a lot of images that had like really cute hats. And then when you open it up, there's like places to write if you would like to, but there are these little patterns, and they show how, like, this one says it's how to make a cape, and like I love her hat, and her little cape is so cute. So yeah, so that one is a cape. There's a bunch of these in here. And then this one shows how to make a petal collar. So you can see the lady's collar here. So cute. And then this one is for, what is she trying to show? Oh, this is for the millinery flower. Yeah, it's like a pattern for the petal of the flower. Isn't that cool? Yeah, love her hat too. And then this one is for making tied fringe, which is so cool. I love that. And then this one is for making pleated flounces, the pleats on the dress. Yeah, so pretty. And then this one is for making scallops. Pointed scallops are chic details of the new mode. That is so funny. I love this. And then this one is, what is this one for? Oh, this is for that like little bit of like puffy bottom of her dress. That's what that one is for. And then I tucked in another one of these patterns that I printed on tracing paper for a dress and waistcoat blouse. I love it. So yeah, so and then this one here, the tied fringe, that one reminded me of this picture of this lady. Where is she? This one. Because if you look really closely on her shawl, you can see that tied fringe on there. So yeah, so that's the journal, guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this flip through. Maria, I hope that you loved the journals, or the journal, and the extra little things that I created. I really had so much fun making this, and I enjoyed the process of it, and I really love how it turned out, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this flip through, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!